Wow, man. Whew. This is the very definition of getting mollywopped.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we are back with another Wildcard Wednesday video where we draw a random sample, this one tonight, from our pool of international sipping spirits, and we try it totally double blind so that you get the most honest opinions possible. We're gonna smell this thing, taste this thing, rate this thing before we even find out what we're drinking. We will also then find out the cost, see if that influences our ratings before we reveal what it is we have in this glass.
Yeah.
That way, that's when push comes to shove, when the money's on the line.
Yep.
So let's get right into the nose.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Kind of stings the nostrils a bit.
No, I'm not getting that at all.
I think maybe I stuck my nose too far down. It like singed some nose hairs or something.
Hold on now. Boy, we're shifting gears. Like, we've shifted like 5 gears, and I've only smelled this thing for a second and a half.
Yeah, this is strong. This is still singeing my nose hairs. You must have no nose hairs to burn.
Here's the thing with this glass. I'm getting a strong maple syrup element.
Dark maple syrup.
Dark maple syrup, almost like I'm bordering on molasses.
Yep, I'm getting that too.
But I'm also getting like a breadiness to it. It almost smells like a loaf of bread. Somebody poured maple syrup over top of a loaf of bread that just came out of the oven or something.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a yeasty
like
funkiness.
A bread puddingness. It's making my nose run. I'm sorry. I need a tissue.
All right, we're back. We've got our situation dealt with.
Nose is handled.
Let's see if it keeps happening. Yeah, this to me smells good. It smells sweet.
It smells strong. It's not alcohol like ethanol like I get with a lot of American whiskey, but it still was singeing my nose. So there's some power there, but it definitely smells like a bread pudding that was doused with like dark maple syrup.
And booze. And molasses.
Yeah.
Sweetened on the palate.
Yeah. I need another sip. I think I swallowed that wrong. That's what she said.
Oh boy. That is packing every punch in the world. That took my breath away.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
This is very strong. And it has, so after I swallow and I kind of talk again, it tastes like I just had coffee beans in my mouth.
I could get that, yeah. To me, this is like the oxygen is running out of the room and I'm struggling to breathe. Maybe I just wasn't expecting it to be quite that strong on the palate.
I've had 2 sips and both were like that.
Yeah, dark, sweet, almost bittersweet. Like, it's kind of got like that coffee. Yeah.
It's got coffee. I'm not tasting coffee when I'm sipping it and when it's coating my palate, but after it's done, after like when the finish is happening.
Yeah.
It's like coffee beans.
And the finish lasts. Like, I'm still tasting the first sip that I took. Yeah, wow, that's fantastic.
This is powerful.
In a weird, funny way. But I don't know if I like it or not. I think it's fantastic, but I just don't know how much I like it yet.
This is the kind of thing for me where I think I would want to just have people over and drink it. It wouldn't be like an everyday pour or even like a by myself or just us pour. It'd be, we have people over, oh, you gotta try this kind of pour. But it's a good, oh, you gotta try this, not a like, oh, this is so bad, you gotta try it. But it's very powerful. I don't know what else to say. I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah, second sip actually helped a ton for me. All the same flavors are still there. The coffee note is getting more prominent. But what happens with this pour is that everything is just hyper concentrated right on the front and middle of the palate. Like, it hits your tongue and it swells up and it just takes up all the space. And then it settles into the finish on the back end.
Yeah.
And the finish is faint compared to the strength of the front of the palate, but it does stick around for a while. Like, it's settling in now, it's settling in down here in the back and just making me salivate. Wow. We're going to have to spend some time with this one, but we will be back in a few minutes with some ratings. Then we'll find out the price, see if that changes our ratings, and then find out what we've been drinking. So be right back. Good Lordy, this is a powerful pour. If this is not cast strength, I don't know what is. We don't even know what we're dealing with here. We talked about it off camera. could be scotch. It could potentially be rum or a rum influenced scotch. We don't even know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, it's wild.
But we do have some ratings. Mine is going to be heavily price contingent. That's going to be a huge factor for me. But before we find out the price, where are you at on this?
So my initial rating is actually going to be a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Not because I want a bottle of it, but because it's good for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's maybe not my flavor profile, but it's definitely doing what it does very well and in a good way.
Yeah. I'm in the same place. I'm thumbs up, much like you're saying.
Yeah.
And I tend to like high proof, but this is another level of stuff going on.
It's wild, but it's not an unenjoyable wild. Like, it's the kind of thing where you're like, oh, I'm glad I did that. Like, it may not be for me, but I don't regret it.
It's like an intense roller coaster that you get off of and you're like, boy, that was something. It was a little unnerving, but I'm glad I took the ride.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm going to reach for very often, but I am thumbs up. I kind of would like to have a bottle around, much like you said, to try with friends. This is the fantastic thing about whatever this is. Hopefully it's something that you can find. Hopefully it's reasonably priced. We're going to find out the price first and see if that changes our ratings. So in our Wildcard key, this is number
42.
42 is a whopping $135.
Yep. I'm gonna go to just okay.
Okay.
I'm not going thumbs down because the product itself isn't bad, but the price is not. It's too much for me. So it's just okay.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna come down to just okay as well. I'm definitely not a hard pass.
Yeah.
It's very good for what it is.
It's interesting.
It's very unique. I can't recall having an experience like this.
And it does unique well, because there are some products that do unique that just for the sake of trying to be unique and they don't do a good job. This does a good job.
Right. So with our just okays, don't hear what we're not saying. We're not saying we don't like it, because we're actually telling you we do like it. We're just saying for $135, we don't know if we'd buy a bottle or not.
To our palate preferences enough where we would spend our money on it.
Yeah, it's so niche that it's hard to want to part with that much money for something that its biggest best qualities are also its hampering qualities. Correct. When the price tag comes into the equation.
Let's find out what it is.
Let's find out what this is. This is number 42 and it is, wow.
What is it?
It's another Amroot. This is 3 weeks in a row.
What?
This is the Amroot Portanova Single Malt Indian Whiskey, 62.1 proof, thanks to Eric David Gunderson.
Wow.
This is 124.2 proof, and it drinks like 138 proof bourbon.
It's
in power.
It's got some
force. Man, Amroot is this channel is Amroot's channel now. Amroot sponsor us.
Yeah, I know,
get some whiskey over here.
So interesting.
The price tag is the only thing that puts me off of
the price tag, and then it's not to my flavor profile, my preferred flavor profile, but at the same time, it is doing what it does well. So you can't fault it for that. Like, some people just aren't your taste, but they're not bad people. You know, you can't fault them for that either. Like, this is the same deal.
This thing is fantastic. If it wasn't for the price, if we just weren't quite so cheap, but man,
sorry I rubbed off on you.
This is wild that Amroot has we're totally blind and we're drawing at random. So this whole sample pool is completely scattered up. I pour them, Aaron draws them at random. We have no clue what we're getting into.
Well, and sometimes these are samples given to us, so you don't even pour it.
No, they're in our sample jars with our key numbers and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So it's quality control. There's all the caps match. We don't ever want anything sticking out.
That's true.
Yes. So quality control, integrity of the sample pool is paramount over here.
I don't know how the bread is made. He does all the work.
Exactly. So. She just, again, that's part of what keeps us honest here.
I just pull samples out.
Yeah. And I don't even look. So she pulls them in case I remember what slot they went in.
Yeah.
I'm stunned that of everything we have in here, Amroot came up 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And this one impressed in different ways, just as much as past Amroot expressions have popped up.
In very different ways, though.
So the Amroot Fusion is more of like your everyday go-to, it's your old reliable. And then the intermediate sherry was like a special pour that was really nice, a little bit easier to deal with than this. And then this is your cast strength
powerhouse.
I want a powerhouse, just take you clean off your feet pour.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Okay, we're gushing enough over Amroot. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. We hope you found it helpful. If you have not yet checked out Amroot and anything we said here sounds of interest, you absolutely should check them out.
Yeah. Or you can check our other Wildcard Wednesdays for the last 2 weeks and see what we said there.
Yeah. And I think there was even another one even further back where we had another Amroot in there as well.
There you go.
But man, it's been a wild ride with Amroot. If you like what we're doing over here, give us a like and subscribe if you're not already. And you can hit that bell down there and join us for a pour once a month when we do our monthly live streams. And yeah, we'd love to have you join us.
We absolutely
for that.
would. And that's it for today. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.